GOY, Ghost of Yotei, or known as Game of the Year, could be described in one word as a step forward for the Ghost of franchise. Hey, what's up? My name is M. Kearns, and welcome back to another video. What you're watching right now is gameplay of Ghost of Yotei, and everyone's been talking about this game. And so I wanted to, as someone who's 100% in both games, I felt like I wanted to make a video about it and kind of tell you about my experience and kind of how I felt the game played and my thoughts on the, protagonist, everything like that. So I want to start off by saying both games are fantastic. I love the cinematic style that Sucker Punch takes with the Ghost of games. I think that the entire thing looks very good as far as graphics are concerned, as far as gameplay is concerned. It's super satisfying, and as someone who just played Assassin's Creed Shadows as well, I can't tell you how much more excited for this game I was, how much more fun I had playing this game than Shadows, and how much enjoyment I had even doing the side quests at the very end to get 100%, because I just felt like it was worth it, as I did with Ghost of Tsushima. And one of the things I really enjoyed was the different stances, the different variety of throwables and quick items. You had a freaking pistol, you've got a rifle, at this time guns are becoming more and more commonplace as it looks like his army uses them. But I really enjoyed that as opposed to the different stances that Jin had. Being able to use, 5-6 different weapons at one time was something that I really thought was unique, and something that I think that they need to do in the future of this franchise when they decide to make another game down the road. But that's not to say that it wasn't overwhelming at times, because it absolutely was, having to remember which thing goes with which. But that's just me nitpicking, because I absolutely enjoyed using all these different weapons for a variety of different things. As you see in this gameplay clip here, you have to use every single style in the final battle of the game. Now, one thing I will say is I thought the story in this game was very cliche as compared to Tsushima. I'm used to Assassin's Creed, for example. It had the exact same premise, in the sense that it was about a girl who lost her parents to the Shadow Organization, and the Shadow Organization, is these people that you have to hunt down, assassinate, as well as learning about found family and not the family that you once had. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the way that Yotei did it better is just storytelling-wise. It just doesn't feel like a cheap, oh, well, here's how we've done it in the past. It just seems like every Assassin's Creed game has the story of, oh, my parents are dead, let me go kill all the people that killed them. This game is kind of like that, whereas its predecessor was more about Jin becoming a symbol for the people of Tsushima and not being a puppet for the Shogun. Now, this is where I feel a little let down by Yotei, right? I think that as far as Atsu's concerned, I really enjoy her character. Do I think she has as much personality as Jin? Not at all. But I also think that she, at times, came off as apathetic to help people, whereas Jin kind of, was, because he was a samurai, was used to always helping people. And so, I don't know, something about it just didn't sit right with me, and I really wanted her to become someone who would help people. And you really didn't see that much in her story. Now, I also want to say, too, is that Jin, as a character, becomes one of those people who transforms as the game goes on and becomes the symbol that he knows he needs to be for his people. Atsu, on the other hand, starts out as that symbol and becomes apathetic that she has to be that symbol for everyone even though everyone else around her knows that she needs to be. So, you know, I don't know. Something about that didn't seem right to me. The ghost seems like it's a symbol that represents hope and the ability to fight back, and Atsu's journey was entirely about revenge, even into the very end when she discovered that found family is what she needs to be fighting for and not just revenge. I don't know, it just didn't really sit right with me. Now, on the other hand, I think Jin's story is one that can be greatly expounded upon, because we don't, aside from the side quest in the game where you get the Stormblade and his mask, we really don't know what happened to Jin after he left Tsushima. We know he went to Iki Island, we know that he ended up in Ezo, but you know, other than that, I think that Sucker Punch could go back to the Sly Cooper games, but they could also go back to the Ghost of Tsushima franchise and, you know, kind of make it about him resisting the Shogun's orders and becoming a symbol around the rest of the Japanese islands, because he is the shinobi that everyone talks about. Even all 200 years later, they still talk about Jin Sakai. So, I don't know. I enjoyed the game, don't get me wrong. I think this is a... If Ghost of Tsushima is a 10 out of 10, this is easily a 9.5 or a 9. I mean, it's just... the gameplay is so much better. I just think the story is something that is completely lacking compared to the first iteration of the Ghost franchise. Just simply because I like the idea of a disavowed samurai, you know, going against convention to save his people and changing throughout the process and losing that honor, becoming, you know, making his own kind of honor, whereas Atsu doesn't really have that conflict of interest. You know, Jubei might have been one of those that had that conflict of interest. I'm not saying that they needed to go with his character, but, you know, I completely understand why they went this route, but I'm not saying it was my favorite choice that they made, because in the end, you know, they did a really good job with the story, and I can't sing my praises enough. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I was thinking about that the entire time I was playing the game, and, you know, it was just something I felt that I had to kind of put out there on the internet, so everyone can be mad at me. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed everything that went along with it. I hope they make a DLC. I think there's plenty of things that they could go DLC-wise. Maybe, you know, Ryuki's past, kind of exploring that, as well as, you know, the spider's still out there, you know, several things like that. So anyway, I appreciate you taking the time watching this video. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but with Black Ops 7 coming out, there's going to be a lot of stuff to make videos on. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
We'll be a family again.
Believe in yourself, Atsu. the living. You are alone.